Arsenal's 100% record in the Champions League continues. This time around is the biggest test in the Champions League, and indeed the biggest test this season so far. This is against Bayern Munich, a team that has gone 18 matches unbeaten in all competition. Arsenal and Bayern Munich have the best record in European football, both in the league and in the Champions League. And this is that biggest test for Arsenal and also that test for Bayern Munich. And guess who came out on top? Arsenal. Arsenal did not just win. Arsenal won comfortably. See, Arsenal conceded for the first time in the Champions League, but let's not forget, this is against a Bayern Munich side. A Bayern Munich that keeps scoring goals for fun. A Bayern Munich that has defeated PSG this season in the Champions League. A Bayern Munich that has defeated Chelsea in the Champions League this season 3-1. A Bayern Munich that has defeated Club Brugge, Pafos and the rest. This is that Bayern Munich that has scored goals for fun. This is that Bayern Munich Arsenal swept under the carpet. 3-1 at the Emirates Stadium. See, we need to keep giving Arsenal this respect. We need to keep giving Arteta this accolade. He deserves it. What a performance from this Arsenal team today. We need to always give them kudos whenever they do something right. Yes, they've conceded for the first time in this champion this season, but Bayern Munich are clear favourites. Bayern Munich are clear favourites this season in the Champions League as well. A player like Harry Kane was silenced. A player like Olise was silenced. A player like Serge Gnabry was silenced. These players in between them have multiple goals already this season. But coming to Emirates Stadium, where it is very, very difficult to score Arsenal, it is very difficult to win Arsenal. Arsenal did what they were supposed to do and won the game. The first goal came from yet another set piece from Arsenal, from Timber, with a corner kick from Saka, got Arsenal the lead. Bayern Munich came back into the game with a goal from 17-year-old Kyle, who broke the record against this Arsenal team for him scoring the first goal in the Champions League against Arsenal, for them conceding for the first time against Arsenal. What a game that turned out to be. See, it was a possession-based football. The two teams held the ball. The two teams took possession of the ball. The two teams were intense. The two teams played football. The two teams came at each other. No team was relaxed. No team was in their shell. Both teams came out to play football, and Arsenal stood up to the challenge. So many players did very well for this Arsenal team today. We have to give it to a player like Mosquera. Yes, you could say that the absence of Gabriel will give Arsenal problems, but guess what? Mosquera has stepped in and did a fantastic job in keeping the likes of Harry Kane at bay, in keeping the likes of Kimmich and the rest who would definitely want to attack Arsenal at bay. That guy did exceptionally well today. Another player who did exceptionally well for Arsenal today is Declan Rice. We need to give this guy his flowers. When it comes to big games, he steps up. When it comes to that game that he is supposed to show up, he shows up. That is what Declan Rice brings to you. That is what he gives to you. A £100 million player showing exactly what he was bought for Arsenal. Look at what he did last season against Real Madrid. 2 free kick goals, from outside the box. That is the kind of quality Arsenal, and you boss the midfield today against the quality of Kimmich, against the quality of Pavlovic, against those quality of players, for Bayern Munich. So it was a very, very good game. At that point, it was 1-1. Arsenal needed to do something. Arsenal needed to change things up. Trossard was taken off the game. Changes were made into the game. Madueke was shifted to the right-hand side. Everything changed at that moment. This is all quality in squad that gives to you. This is what you need when you look at the bench. Those quality on the bench, those squad depth on the bench, quality for quality. Madueke was brought into the game. Martinelli was brought into the game. Lewis Kelly was being cooked in the game. But when Mikel Arteta spotted that Lewis Kelly was being cooked for majority of the game, he took him out and he brought in Calafiori. That alone changed the game for Arsenal. That alone gave Arsenal more confidence. That alone pushed Arsenal forward. The intensity was high. The press was high. It took the game to Bayern Munich at that point. And Arsenal got behind the defense of Bayern Munich with a square play to Madueke. Madueke got the second goal for Arsenal. At that point, Arsenal was on the front foot. Bayern Munich came at them, but Arsenal chased every single pressure Bayern Munich put at them. That is what you need from a big team like Arsenal. That is what you need from a team that wants to win games. That is what you need for a team that shows up in big games. Now at that point, Bayern Munich started pushing everything to Arsenal. Arsenal needed to show why they are that team that needs respect, that deserves respect, that everybody needs to show how good, or everybody needs to talk about how good they've been this season. On the run of play, the ball was played at behind the Bayern Munich defense, and Martinelli went through with a mistake from the goalkeeper Manuel Neuer, and Martinelli was clear on goal. That made it 3-1. At that moment, all Arsenal needed to do was to close shop. At that moment, what Arsenal needed to do was to show how resolved they are defensively, and was to show how compact they are defensively, was to show how good they could be when it means to defend against a player like Harry Kane, against a player like Olise, against a player like Serge Gnabry. That is what they needed to do. They defended for their lives. They closed up shop at that moment. And Arsenal, with what is more important, 3 points for the game. Now Arsenal is the only team in the Champions League now who has gone all games with 3 points in the bag. All games, considered only 1 goal. Show me a better team who have such a record. Show me a better team who can do that currently, which is not an Arsenal team. Defensively solid, attacking wise very good. That is what a team like Arsenal gives to you. Quality in depth, players who wants to play for the club, players who wants to score goals, players who wants to show something. Now you need to respect Arsenal. Now you need to give Arteta his flowers. Yes, you might say they must win something this season. Yes, we agree to that fact. But you see, in these moments, in these games, Arsenal showing something, playing against PSG, who has against Bayern Munich, who has defeated the likes of PSG, Chelsea and the rest. You need, and you really need to give Arsenal their flower. This was a very good game for me. I really enjoyed watching this game. Arsenal brought a lot to the game today. Arsenal showed how resolved they could be against a big side like Bayern Munich. Let's not forget, 18 games unbeaten for Bayern Munich. But which team can do that in the Champions League if not Arsenal? Arsenal sits on top of the table currently right now in the Champions League. That is what Arsenal gives to you. Congratulations to all Arsenal fans. This was a very good game for them. Let me know what you think about Arsenal victory against Bayern Munich. Mikel Arteta changes, which was very important, that changed the game for Arsenal. Let me know what you think about them. If you're new to this channel, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell. Now let's move to another result from today. Other games that played today is Liverpool, who lost 4-1 at home against PSV. That was a disaster of a result for Liverpool. At the weekend, they lost at home 3-0 against Nottingham Forest. What a disaster that is going over on, out there in Anfield. Liverpool needs to change something and change it fast. These are not the kind of result that Liverpool should be seeing these days. These are not the kind of result that Liverpool, a defending champion in the Premier League, was supposed to be undergoing at this moment in time. It is going from bad to worse. They've dropped down, below the 8th position already in the Champions League table. They need to fight for every single game and for every single team this season and for every single tournament they're going to play in. That is a very poor result, and the pressure is mounting at Anfield. Another result that was played today was a very high scoring game. PSG against Tottenham Hotspur. Spurs will be Spurs. They got the first goal and they collapsed yet again. Spurs at home this season has been very poor. Spurs at home this season has been the poorest team both in the Premier League and also in the Champions League. Yes, the Champions League they are doing very well, but let's not forget, if you don't win games at home, it will affect you, away from home. But Spurs will be Spurs. Playing against PSG, remember they played against PSG a few months ago in the Super Cup. They lost that game after going ahead, 2 goals ahead. They were pegged back and they lost that game through penalty shootouts. They've done it again, lost that game 5-3. Another game that was played today was another high-scoring game, Real Madrid and Olympiacos, with Kylian Mbappé scoring 4 goals in that match. What a fantastic record. They almost dropped points, but Real Madrid will be Real Madrid. Kylian Mbappé carrying the shoulders and carrying the responsibilities of Real Madrid at this point. This was a very tough game, for Real Madrid. Let me know what you think about all these results. Share your thoughts in the comment section. If you're new to this channel, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell until I come your way again next time. I remain your boy Mike Way. Stay cool. Cheers.